least an 11, then every other champion is less than 5 in the jungle role. But there's a ton, right? We've had Poppy, we've had Kha'Zix, we've had Zed, we've had Talia, we've had Kindred, Diana. It definitely feels like there are a lot of possible champions to pick, but definitely more niche picks that will fit like in a draft. You're not just going to bring out like a full draft of like crazy wacky shenanigans, right? It's like setting up for things like a Diana or a Vi or so on and so forth.
True, it has to make sense. But to be fair, you know, even though Nivea into Vladimir made sense, I'm still a little bit skeptical on it. At the very least, we're not going to see TheShy on the Kayle, and we are going to get top lane for the counter pick once more. Now, on the Thresh, Lyric, we don't really see Thresh, but we got an Aphelios in the bottom lane, and I feel like we're getting a blast from the past.
Yeah, he's a champion who I think took a bit of a hit with the durability changes. Thresh doesn't get armor per level. You get armor from your souls. They did readjust the souls with the durability patch to try and make up for it, but doesn't feel like it did too much.
Yeah.
And then, right, even the fact that champions are just tankier now, like landing a death sentence maybe not meaning a for sure kill like it could have on the previous patch. But like you said, the fact that it has the lantern offers some security for Huanfeng on the Aphelios, so we'll go for it. And now WE gonna kind of switch gears. Last time around, right, it was this like short range comp that wants to be in your face. They had the Swain, now opting to play from a range and try and punish at Aphelios. Of course, one of the long-time answers to him is just outranging him, putting damage down, especially with AP threats, considering he does have lower MR than a lot of other AD carries or just champions in general in the game. And BiuBiu going to stick to the Aphelios.
So a lot of all-in built up, the Gnar, the Azir, the Kalista ulti as well. I'll have a bit more to ask you about that, Lyric, as we go through. But for Weibo Gaming, I mean, why fix it? If you're going to pick the Gnar, and again, TheShy clobbered him in lane. And it's day 2 at work. And I feel like the kid thinks that, hang on a minute, I know how it works here. I know that I can, you know, I can operate this one. I'm going to be a little bit better on day 2. But in work experience, you have a long way to go before you're at that level.
Look, we just need to look at it as like TheShy teaching BiuBiu a lesson so he could, you know, be better, grow up smarter, and live a more fruitful life with his career. So we're going to see a run back. Weibo's comp, I think, functions very similarly how it did in Game 1, right? We still have like single target CC coming out with a death sentence in the chart from Angel. You have a lot of single target damage able to follow up as well. You can set up nicely for these picks. We're going to want to see On and Angel once again take onus to start up plays and find these picks, with Huanfeng and TheShy falling with damage and SofM looking for the resets.
And so it's just going to be fun to watch if BiuBiu can get through it. Last time with no influence on the top side, 30 to 40 CS lead TheShy had, and it was a solo kill up top as well that kind of blew our mind, because BiuBiu was close. BiuBiu was in such a good position to get first blood, but a couple of good side steps, and suddenly it all turns around. For WE, trying to find your first win of the split is a big deal, considering that, yeah, WE have been down in the dumps for a little bit. It hasn't been that guaranteed playoff team, or WE could be top 4 at their peak. You know, WE last split, Lyric, I'm trying to look at where they actually finished, but it was not good. And when you have Beishang in the roster, finishing 15th is kind of sad.
Yeah, again, we got to at least give the context of, like, Beishang didn't start for, like, half of the split, right?
True.
We did have lockdowns, wasn't able to join up with a team. We did have a lot of games coming in from Viu, who I think showed some decent performances, but definitely not the same as, again, what we saw from Beishang back in 2020 and in 2021.
Well, as he enters the Rift again, he's got a lot to prove, as Weibo Gaming start us off in game number 2 with an invade. Beishang walking up here, ward down. Weibo Gaming are going to get spotted out by this one, but at least they know. TheShy joins up as well, and just like that, it is thwarted. TheShy gets the ward. Of course he does. If you're on Weibo Gaming, you think that, man, this guy, he's the one that's going to take us to the end.
Yeah, believing in him, and again, kind of the volatility of the top side for both of these teams, setting him up for success so far. So for WE, they've kind of opted into more scaling, right?
Yep.
Picking the Azir up over the Swain. Swain's still incredibly potent in the late game, right? But especially with the mandate build, you're very team reliant, to where Shanks now going to be a damage dealer in his own right, can step up to be more of a primary carry. We hit on how they have more range coming through, but with the fact that TheShy has brought out the Jayce, still kind of having more champions with the range advantage on the side of Weibo Gaming. WE definitely going to be a lot about those big 5v5s, still having those huge teamfight ultimates able to come out. And again, I feel like not too much setup in terms of where Beishang can look in the early game. We can see him pathing down towards the bottom side because you do have the Renata coming through once again. You can try and play through the prio that your bot lane's going to guarantee and look for invades like you did last
but
game.
Ignite coming down as well, even better for WE. The 2v2 very cheeky, on already down to a slither of HP. And he's only got one pot left as well, so WE asserting dominance over the 2v2 nice and early, and this feels like a great way to start your second game.
Yeah, phenomenal to come out, you know, guaranteeing themselves some lane pressure. We hit on it, right? Smlz and Heal, their debut games of this split. Not playing in the previous split, taking a bit of a break. So good to see them coming in, at least in lane, being fine, being able to play out these 2v2s. And right, for WE, we've been hitting on how they've been struggling and how like spring was bad. They can build better for summer. But you need to remember, this will take time, right? Integrating new players onto the roster. Yeah. They've even been like subbing in and out players. Obviously, last time we had Xie, now we have Shanks. And kind of seeing what WE decide on to be their starting core lineup and their identity going forward.
Because it feels like you've got a lot of big names, right? Xie's a massive name, Smlz as well. Both have been in the league for so long, so yeah, again, Smlz with a lot more experience is showing here in the 2v2 as Cleanse comes through. This is all the rage these days. The 2v2 in the bottom lane, still successful for Smlz, and the CS lead they're building up with the wave also building just looks really nice for them to kick off the game, especially with Beishang hovering around the area.
Yeah, nice of them playing around this, playing on the fact that their jungle path towards bot lane, Weibo paying respect, knowing SofM's up towards top side, also knowing that they're able to out-damage the 2v2 in the early game as long as Smlz can get in Huanfeng's face. Of course, later on, Aphelios will like that, right? Champions who are dashing within his range should up for a huge Moonlight Vigil to be able to take advantage of that. But in early laning phase, Smlz and Heal in complete control, and heck, even having to respect Beishang, zoning them off the turret, losing gold. And yeah, rough start. Another early plate picked up for the side of WE.
And losing CS. It's 23-10. On comes back under the turret. The hook doesn't connect. He flashes, relying on the durability as Heal survives, and Smlz does too. The turret getting choppy here as all three members of WE have taken a hit, but Huanfeng has no health left, and the dive will continue from Smlz. He gets hit once and a second time, but still survives. But in the top side, Weibo Gaming are angry, but the dive isn't going as well. SofM can't finish the job, and BiuBiu must be in hysterics, with no pun intended, as BiuBiu eventually dies. Weibo Gaming get the trade, but you gotta feel for WE starting it off better.
You just have to appreciate the teams still going for these early dives. I mean, heck, even with the turret changes, right? The first shot in the early game just outright does less damage than it did before, like compared to the amount of like early game stats that you have picked up. It's the ramping damage that feels a lot more right. Since there was more damage added up and the ramping damage is 40%, not like a flat amount, it just feels like it hits so hard. But we see beautiful juggling of aggro coming out on both sides of the map from both teams. They come in here, TheShy, the one to pick it up, SofM getting in melee range. They both back out. They still have SofM, who is quite healthy and can start this one off. And then they're able to do it. SofM tanks one shot, and they get out of dodge.
So we get TheShy back into a condition of a one-kill lead. That's what happened in game number 1, except he achieved it through a pretty big outplay. And he's 10 CS up as well. He's got the Serrated Dirk once again. BiuBiu in a world of hurt like he was before, but look at the lead in the bottom side. Smlz with Berserker Greaves now on the Kalista, which is such a big ramp up. And importantly enough too, the Vampiric Scepter all in one. I mean, Lyric, this is going to be hard for Huanfeng and On to deal with, already being behind about 14, 15 CS at 5 minutes.
Yeah, especially right when we've been hitting on like one of the raids that Aphelios can maybe like take advantage of Kalista, at least in early lane, is like when you're on something like the Calibrum and you have the range to try and poke her out a little bit before she's able to get in your face. But now that won't even matter considering she has the lifesteal. So any sort of short bursty trades will just outright be in Smlz's favor. He'll be able to re-heal back up and then be able to take even more trades. So for the side of WE, they're going to stick down to the spot side, but Weibo all inning on BiuBiu once again.
Yeah, and the Shock Blast connecting too. He's about to go Mega Gnar though, so this might buy him a little bit of time, but SofM is dragging the wave. BiuBiu not level 6, and TheShy is abusing this as Beishang is dealing with a 2v2 in the bottom lane. How did this happen as he flashes away from the death sentence? And now for Shanks to come through with the Emperor's Divide. That might do some work as BiuBiu ults TheShy back in. The wave gone, the outplay! BiuBiu sits back up And SofM, as he runs away, it's had a massive turn as the father is dead.
Yeah, just really nice turn coming out from BiuBiu. Finds the angle before SofM's able to get in there, but still, this is going horribly wrong on the bot side. They were able to force out a flash from Beishang, but the fact that WE are playing towards bot, Weibo are up towards top, opens up this turret. Losing so much CS, 62 to 25 for in favor of Smlz right now, and a dragon on the board for Team WE.
This is a massive game lead. WE in charge. SofM caught out at blue as well, but BiuBiu will not chase any further. He's already picked up the kill under turret. He's made TheShy fall a little bit further behind than he should have, and as you were just talking about, Smlz and Heal will have themselves a bottom lane turret at 7 minutes in the game. This Kalista lyric, 69 CS, and first turret blood. I think it's some of the earliest we've seen across the world.
And I guess we're just seeing the difference in terms of like having these high priority meta champions up against two champions we don't see much at all, right?
Yep.
Thresh, Aphelios, both kind of making their way out of favor in this meta, and then just pairing up Beishang with them, allowing them to keep up this pressure in the bottom side. And I mean, heck, you don't even have one plate so far for TheShy in the top side. Should be able to get it pretty soon with like what we're seeing in the replay now of it being quite low, but we're gonna see here, still having a bit of a wave. SofM not here. BiuBiu just all-inning, lands the ult to guarantee can get that kill. And heck, I mean, TheShy not flashing it, nothing.
No, flash still up and available. He's still up in CS in this lane, but things have changed. I mean, Smlz now moving up, TheShy having to drift down to the bottom lane. Weibo Gaming actually moving as a unit, but WE, they're the ones we need to talk about. They're 2K up in lead in the second game. A much better start, to say the very least. Weibo Gaming will finally get some turret plating of their own, but you're still looking at WE controlling the reins in this one, as Smlz is so close to his mythic, but I need to talk about that lyric. I mean, BiuBiu down the bottom side, they're trying to dive him again, but I'm a bit skeptical.
Yeah, we saw Weibo actually playing with 5 members towards the bottom half of the map. They know they don't have anyone strong enough to match Smlz and Heal at this point in time, so it looks like they are just opting into giving up top turret outright, which Beishang is Herald now, so they can definitely guarantee that one, and Weibo is still just trying to dodge, right? Trying to make, They know they can't match them, so they have to look elsewhere.
Herald will make it an instant charge. Smlz gaining the gold. He remains 30 CS ahead of Huanfeng. And Huanfeng was able to get some time with the turret plating too, so at least getting something back into the game, but that'll enable Smlz to have the mythic so early on. And even looking at, you know, Beishang benefiting from some of the gold, starting to invade up here, Lyric, while Smlz and Heal are going for a tier 2 at 9 minutes of the game. Now, TheShy's here, so he should stop this, but that would be the 3rd turret that this duo's picked up.
Yeah, they just get to keep going, right? They have such a huge lead now. I do think they should be backing off soon, picking up their mythic, because you got to assume Smlz now going to be on that Immortal Shield bow, and that'll just make a world of difference, right? Especially because a lot of the damage coming out from Weibo early, right, is poke, it's burst, but not burst enough and not strong enough yet to where they should realistically be able to 100-0 him.
Yep.
So now the amount of sustain he has able to come through, it just feels like Smlz can play as aggressively as he would like, and that Weibo don't really have an answer.
It's going to be fun watching the bailout from Heal. When you have a Renata, when you're a fed Kalista, you feel like the world's at your fingertips. And in a minute 50, you know, WE had the chance to pull in Weibo Gaming for the Dragon, but it feels like Weibo Gaming don't want to be anywhere near it, Lyric, because at this point, WE controlling the map, getting the most out of turret plating. They're now towards mid. They want all 15 plates, and they've got 3 minutes to do so.
And again, just look how confidently Smlz can walk forward considering he has that amount of sustain. Just right in their faces, doesn't care who's in front of him, gonna push this one in and just keep this punishment going. Sadly, for WE, there's no neutral objectives up on the map where they can turn this mid lane pressure into. They've already taken both side lane turrets, no dragon up just yet, but luckily, Weibo not able to answer out in the mid lane. So for WE now, I think just keep up that vision they have around mid. They have one control ward right now. Then we're going to start seeing them pivot down towards that bot side soon, considering Dragon's only a minute away.
And Shanks able to get the push out as well. So, yeah, with Dragon, as Swift mentioned, SofM setting himself up as well. Now, Lyric, I can't read Chinese. It's a fact. You know, I can read about 30 characters. There's something on the bottom of our screen that's saying that Kalista has a heckin' lot of gold. That's all we need to know. Smlz, very, very big boy, and he's about
2.5k gold.
Yeah, he's massive. Dodging away from the hook as well. He's not going to give over any of it. 106 CS at 11 minutes. He's picked up 10 pieces of plates.
He has more gold than Huanfeng and On combined. Just outright, just more.
Wow, not surprising there.
Yeah, he is absolutely massive. Oh my god. 40 CS up at this point in time. So they're just keeping up pressure right now. They're already getting vision control down in bot, as we can see Beishang doing right now. They should be able to pick this one up. Weibo are definitely going to have to trade side and just commit to getting top turret with TheShy. Maybe stealing away a blue buff as well for your trouble. At least they can zone BiuBiu off the tower, but with the fact that they only need to commit Beishang to soloing out that Drake, they can actually start sending resources top like we're seeing now on the minimap.
Yeah, make the correct players.
Oh, it's going to bite them though.
Well, Angel and On are moving straight to the objective, and as you were saying, Beishang by himself. Now, Shanks is next to him. That's going to help out quite a bit, and Huanfeng's not moving, so Dragon is still free. As WE end up bringing Smlz and heal back on down, so TheShy is safe for now and continues pushing away. Remember, Lyric, he's 30 CS up over BiuBiu once again, so even though Smlz is massive, Weibo Gaming still have this Jayce that's in a pretty good position.
Yeah, I think we're going to need a lot more time before his impact can be felt onto Smlz at least. So Weibo is still just going to keep opting into trading objectives for gold. Though the fact that WE's next Dragon will put them on Soul Point feels like it will be the time where Weibo will have to finally fight. But even just looking at items across the board, right? Even Shanks sitting on his Mythic over Angel on the opposing side. You have to assume both junglers probably sitting on their Divine Sunder buys right now. Both are going to go for the recall. So we're going to start getting a huge influx of items coming through. And this is probably where Weibo will be a lot more comfortable to look at a fight. But Huanfeng is just still so far from being relevant in this game.
Oh, man. I mean, as you said, you don't see much of Aphelios these days. Smlz. That was close. Angel was nearby. I wonder if they'd have the damage to kill him with the Immortal Shield Bow. But at the very least, On's been throwing out hooks. And Lyric, we have been watching for the last 3 minutes. 0 connect.
Yeah, I mean, right? It feels like he's just still living by the same motto as game one of like, well, I just have to keep throwing it out and it'll hit eventually. And as long as one hits and it's impactful, that's all that matters. Because, yeah, that is definitely the motto that On lives by. And heck, with the disadvantage route, right? Even if that Death Sentence landed, I actually don't think they could 100 to 0 Smlz. He even has Cleanse Up and Flash as well. So they're still in a good position. And yeah, this game, a bit rough considering it is so dominant for WE so far.
Speaking of rough, TheShy might be called out by a pillar. Beishang doesn't do that much damage, even with the Sunderer, so he gets out. Especially Shanks is not the one who's fed. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, BiuBiu is trying to take away a red buff, but SofM is going to come in and claim it. That is his, with a cheeky little invade, and BiuBiu unable to sneak it away, which means Weibo Gaming are once again trying to trade sides of the map, Lyric, while Smlz sticks mid, but Huanfeng finally gets time with the turret. This dude is getting gold, if only a bit.
Yeah, he's getting something, but still WE just always answering for more.
Yeah.
Weibo needing some kind of huge miracle. I think Huanfeng should finally be able to back and buy his Mythic, so that one will come out. Gale Force just picked up now, but you're still only going to be sitting on a Gale Force. We'll give you at least the ability to try and get in range for a Moonlight Vigil. If someone's chunked really low, you can Gale Force in, throw that one out, and try and get some burst down onto the board.
So we know that Weibo Gaming are about pick, and we know that WE have a very fed member from the Shadow Isles who, if I'm correct on my lore, used to be like the commander of some king's army, went there, got corrupted in green ooze or whatever's happening in that island. You know, it could be Rubbish Island for all I know.
All I know about... Oh,
hang on,
wait,
actually, yeah, this could be something because the Hop's already used. Flash needs to be burnt. SofM with the ulti, and there we go. Hop was down. Now, coming back to what could be Rubbish Island. Lyric, what do you do as WE? Like, how do you push this further? There's a Guinsoo's Rage Blade. You talked about dragons and luring in Weibo Gaming. Let's say Weibo Gaming don't even touch this. Do you literally just play around objectives for the rest of the game and just cruise yourself into an easy game for it?
Yeah, and I think it all starts with mid, right? So they can just do like what they're doing here. You just keep your 3-man core grouped mid. You're playing off towards whatever side of the map you know, your objective is on. So like obviously now it'd be Dragon, but when Baron's up, push in deep to enemy jungle, get down your deep vision, and then start trying to pull them out. The top side is Angel, not able to connect with the Everfrost.
But at least gets the charm. That's one thing onto Beishang. They flash over on with the Flay. It was nice, but now with Beishang in the movement speed and Angel flashing forward, they don't have enough damage.
So close.
Subjugate did so much work there, Lyric. Beishang lives, but 50 seconds till Dragon. I don't think that was enough time with the sneaky play to make that Dragon Weibo Gaming.
Still, props to Angel, right? Because we hit on in draft that Angel and On either the ones starting things off, being proactive, looking for these picks. Angel hard forcing his way into the face of Beishang to try and make something happen. But you're right. Weibo not feeling confident to try and contest this now. At least reset's going to be coming off right now. And with Beishang and Shanks coming back onto the map, it doesn't mean it's their time or it's their window to push out waves, walk into enemy jungle. You can already see pings coming down into Weibo's bottom side jungle. And yeah, I would expect Weibo probably just going to answer waves once again.
You know, if Orcs was here, he'd blame the durability patch for that one. There's no way he wouldn't say, durability patch really hurts there. Beishang survives the sliver of health, and you said it, Weibo Gaming not nearby. SofM, he's been spotted out, or that's just a spectator bug with the eyes above his head. Might be a spectator bug. So 3 Dragons, WE still 3k gold ahead. They have control. Remember, you guys be like, oh, Kalista, doesn't scale. But remember, WE, as Lyric said, can lure in Weibo Gaming. Soul's coming up next, and it's an Ocean Soul against 2 carries that have great DPS. They're even diving at this point. Heal onto Huanfeng, but had they gone too deep, Angel now coming in, heal, taking up the ramping turret shots, and Angel gets it. A punish as Smlz is in no man's land, but at least he's got Shanks on the wing, while Beishang might not survive this one. He burnt everything in the kitchen sink at the last play, and On finally hits the hook. Beishang sent to the hills, and Weibo Gaming may have not gotten the last Dragon, Lyric, but they've finally gotten 2 kills.
If this pick would have happened 2 minutes in the future, that would have been a Baron for Weibo Gaming. The tempo would have completely swapped over to the opposing team. Luckily for WE, nothing on the map to be able to take. We'll see how it happens here. It starts off with WE. They're wanting to go in, heal, aggressively throwing himself in off of Smlz's ultimate. Gets locked down, turret shots coming through, no one else able to answer. I'm going to say Smlz incredibly lucky he doesn't go down, right? Because he must be sitting on quite a pretty penny for his head at this point, but still, other members of Weibo able to make their way down with the SHY TP in, Death Sentence connects, and Beishang stood no chance.
And with a good counterpunch, Weibo Gaming have slimmed the gold lead to under 2,000 at this point. It's about 1,600 at 19 minutes in the game. Smlz is still a very chunky boy, but at 205 CS to 175, the biggest separation of the kills, the items. But look at the SHY. The SHY's 20 CS up. He's got 2 items himself up there. You can see that SofM has been farming all game long. And this Viego with Divine Sunderer feeling pretty big as well. Hell, I even say Angel at a similar point to Shanks Lyric. So I'm going to keep my eye on the timer for the next Dragon at the very least. And for now, I'll keep looking towards that pick potential that you mentioned for Weibo Gaming that they have so readily available.
And now we're starting to see for WE the same thing, right? Because we hit on for WE, it's about bringing yourself. Oh, nice dodge out from Beishang.
Well, the play comes through the box down. Smlz at half HP. Angel again. Beautiful flank as SofM is dealing with BiuBiu. But Angel's out and the WE health bars are so sickly low. WE get away, but this keeps happening even if On mixes the hook.
Nice read by Weibo because they know the only play that the WE really are looking to make at this point, right, is, again, control mid. You have Shanks pushing on the top side, forcing your way into the enemy jungle, trying to get that vision control down. Weibo read it, already have members in the area, had no one answering bot wave, which is why they were able to play so confidently to get that damage down and stop WE from getting deep vision in Weibo Gaming's jungle.
They're a bit concerned. WE, this team we're hyping up as like better than we expect. That's the second time now that Weibo Gaming have been able to find something. Now, Grant's not a kill. WE walking into threats. And we're looking at a Baron now live as well. If a mistake is made by, granted, either team as well. You know, WE can close out this game. They've got an Azir, a Kalista. Rend will make short work of the Baron. Weibo Gaming, if they get a punish, maybe it turns into the Baron for themselves as well. And we do have the Dragon, which could end up overlapping. 1:30 until Ocean Soul is a possibility for WE too.
Yeah, it really feels like this game will come down to that next big fight. Both teams have such good ability to burn objectives, right? Aphelios on one side, Kalista and Azir on the other. So WE still going to try and gain control over topside vision for now. For Weibo, I think a lot of it's still just starting out with Angel. I like that they're not aggressing too deeply into enemy territory or even pushing into the river, right? Because you don't need to. You're still kind of fine just sitting back right now. Bloodthirster now built for Huanfeng, so is going to have a lot of that sustain. Still a full item behind his counterpart.
Yep.
Now the only thing left, I want to see if Shanks able to get his demonic embrace before the fight starts. Is recalling now.
Okay, we'll see at the very least. I want to know if Angel gets a second item as well, but I think not. At this point, Weibo Gaming have grouped up and TheShy is waiting in the brush by himself. He's got an extra serrated Dirk. That damage going to sting if it hits Smlz, but remember, he has heal, he has to bail out, so he might get a second chance, and more importantly, might have himself thrown into the fight in terms of heal. Now, this would be the soul for WE. Their series hangs in the balance. It's been a slow kill game, but for WE, they've held controls on Hit the Hook, but it's on to BiuBiu. Will he get to Gnar? No! He's bailed out, but there's no kill readily available. BiuBiu goes down, but it ends up being a trade kill. In fact, 2 against Weibo Gaming as Smlz stays alive. Weibo left with TheShy with their jungler, but he's quickly dead as well. Running into the last member, WE with some life bursting through their veins.
Shanks able to get off so much damage in that fight. The fight actually split into 2 fronts and allowed for WE just to all in on one side, take advantage. They pick up the dragon, and now pings are coming out for the Baron.
Well, with Ocean Soul, with the Baron buff in hand, you gotta think that maybe this one's gone too far for Weibo Gaming. As we look again, it started with the hook.
Yeah, started with the hook on a BiuBiu. SofM coming off onto a flank, but still huge Renata ultimate to come out from the side of WE. Locks multiple members down. We see Shanks all inning on one side of the fight, which allows Smlz and Heal to go take down Huanfeng on the receiving end. Beautiful stopwatches, maybe more shenanigans.
Yeah, and teleport coming through as well. There's no smite on Weibo Gaming, but they want it after the Baron plays. BiuBiu is jumping in with the Gnar. It's a one-man, but on is going to meet his death as TheShy jumps in as well. Weibo Gaming, no, it's time to go to a game 3, I think, because that's the third. Let's go for a fourth. And, you know, for WE, they had an early Kalista that was so far ahead of the curve. But now it cements it with the gold lead back on track, I should say. And the base about to get rampage.
Oh, they're actually going to find him.
Yeah, but will Hill regret this? I don't know. Smlz's there. Okay, that's the boss. You don't want this person with bailout as well. Rend will come through. Huanfeng is trying, but it's a 2v1, and Smlz's just too big. 6-0 and 5. He's been the story all game long, and Weibo Gaming know it by now.
You know, the second when you pointed out how short the broadcast has been today, that's when you know the universe says we are definitely going to 3 games. There's no way it's allowed to end this early. It's in the contract. The sponsors need things shown. Bam, 3 games. And I like that Weibo kind of lived by the mantra of well, we lost the last fight. Let's run headfirst in and see if we can win this fight, like we're gonna see here. Trying to catch BiuBiu out, but BiuBiu has Ocean Soul, is about to be Gnar, and then just turns this into his advantage to be able to find the pick onto On, and TheShy triples down. Yeah. He's like, you're taking down my boy? Hammer form to the skies. He goes down, and SofM's like, I want to be part of the fun, and runs it right alongside him. So at least, Weibo, you know, brothers in arms,
Musketeers.
United.
Yeah. All for one and one for all. So, Ocean Soul, 10k gold lead. Will we get to the Elder? I don't know, but we've got a 4.5k Baron power play. WE working now on the bottom side of the map with a 1 inhibitor on the top already broken down. They're grouping up here, and this should be an easy take as Smlz even not taking that much from TheShy. It's been a much better game number 2, Lyrics. But let's be real. I mean, in the second game, Smlz, just the benefactor of smashing the 2v2 against Huanfeng and On.
Yeah, I mean, Smlz and Heal, right? Making their debut today on this WE squad in 2022. Beishang enabling them with jungle pressure early and setting them up for success.
Where is TheShy? In no man's land he might be. Dark Passage taken as Weibo Gaming completely spread out. Angel almost dying over the wall. TheShy jumping back in at no HP. And there we go. Heal decides to do the same. He's going to die here with the help of our friendly neighborhood turret.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love all the masochist supports we're getting today. They're like, screw it, throw me in, boss. And they're trying to find the fight. Doesn't work out really ever, but You respect the proactivity.
Who cares at this point? I mean, Weibo Gaming, where's the damage going to come from? TheShy, the strongest member at 3, but you see against Smlz, he's not doing enough damage anymore with the Guardian Angel picked up. WE, a bit of a bounce in the... Lyric, never mind.
Oh, okay. See, when that happens, I don't know if you DC or I don't know if I DC. Someone DC'd. But yeah, true. That's our synergy. That's our bot.
I said something
DC
bad
together.
against WE. I said something bad against WE. My internet cuts out. They say Hysterics, cut the crap. We're going to a game number 3, and we don't know which way it's going to go, and I like that. You know, disconnect my internet any day.
Yeah. WE. Let's see smiles on the WE faces right now, right? Because this is a team that I think definitely has the tools to work out. I didn't expect them to start picking up like high-profile wins early in the split, but I think they definitely have the pieces to ramp up. But that can be quite hard if you start the split rough. You're kind of like mentals get a little bit down. You know, like it's hard to see the positives if you just start on a losing streak. So WE pick up their first game win of the split, and now giving us hope they can pick up the series. Again, go forward with some momentum. All of it coming down to the bot lane and the jungle. Smlz and Heal winning out in the 2v2 very heavily. Beishang just continuing to come bot side. Zone Huanfeng and on off tower. Zone them off tower. Turret was taken, I think you said in the game at like 7 minutes for the Kalista. We already have a mythic coming out. And then Smlz was able to play so aggressively in the enemy's faces. And Weibo sadly not able to really find any answers. And then one team fight really is what put the nails in the coffin for the side of Weibo. Soul, Baron go over. Bam, game done.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there was some potential with a couple of the throws we saw getting close to that edge with WE, with a couple of the picks that were coming through. But in front of the Dragon, it all worked out nicely. Smlz holding strong on this Kalista. And I will say that, you know, for WE's game number 2, like, we're going to see a lot of damage going towards Kalista. You'd have to assume. TheShy will be the other side. I know when we get sponsors down, we're about to jump into the damage numbers.